Hi guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, Data Science with Python, and brought to you by Pablo, Data Science Educator at All School Africa, Data Science Educator at Collab Innovation Hub, Kaduna. Now, the idea for this channel is to help folks who are trying to start off with data science and knowing that Python is an industry standard. So picking up the basics and the fundamentals of Python is really, really critical to data literacy. So yeah, now we're going to be talking about Python loops and tuples. In the previous video, you're going to find out that we talked about iterating through a dictionary. So a tuple too is like is an iterable. So what we're going to do is we're just going to look at tuples and we're going to look at using the Python loop over tuples. So just for the uninitiated, a tuple, right, is a tuple. Tuples are ordered immutable sequences. So they're ordered and they're immutable sequences. Right. Now, let me put that sequences. So you know when there's a sequence, you know that just like a list, right? They can hold they can have index positions. But unlike lists, they are immutable, right? Meaning elements cannot be changed. So again, with a tuple, elements can be changed in a tuple. It can't be changed. So it gives you an idea of what you can use a tuple for, right? Can be changed. Elements in a tuple can't be changed. So what that means, so it means that we can use a tuple to do a lot of stuff. We can use tuples for scores, right? You see, makes a lot of sense, right? So to do this, I'm just going to use an idea of student scores. So let's look at student scores. So that's what we're going to use to showcase how we're going to be looking at loops, Python loops, and tuples. So let's assume we have student underscore scores, and inside it we are going to have a tuple with students' names and their scores. Pretty simple, right? So here I'm just going to put this, right? So of course you see when you put this bracket, you know that you're trying to build a tuple. So because I'm going to have different scores with students and their scores, I'm just going to have different, I'm going to pack them in there, right? So I'm going to have first students going to be Pablo and comma, and I'm going to put the score. I'm going to say Pablo had 96. Brilliant individual. Then I'm going to have another one here, and inside I'm going to have Marta. Marta is another brilliant lady, and she had 98. And finally, we are going to have, say, Dorcas, and Dorcas had 99. So now we have created a tuple. Are we sure it's a tuple? We use the type class and we look at students underscore scores, and we have a tuple. Now, how do we introduce that? So again, let us document created a tuple, right? Here checked the data type, and so now we're going to use a for loop. How do we do it? So now I'm going to say, of course, to write a for loop, we're going to start off with a for keyword, right? And then we're going to say name, comma, score, right, in student scores. Really that simple, right? And then here we can just print, and here we're going to use the F string, string formatting, really important, readability and understanding, right? So here I'm going to use the name. So because I want to reference this first iterative variable here, I'm just going to put it in here. then I'm just going to say the name scored or let me just say received grade. Then inside here I'm just going to put the score. Yeah, I could say score, right? Let me just make it a score, right? And then I close this. So the iterator variable comes, Pablo receives score 96, Marta receives score 98, Dorcas receives score 99. Right, so that's that. Also, I just want to introduce one, so which means you can also loop through tuples in a different way. So here, okay, just so here is the Python for loop. Documentation is important. In other videos where I forgot to document, apologies, forgive me please, but documentation is important because you are going to read other people's code more than you write yours. So it's ideal you create documentations to it. And so, okay, let's do this last one, right? So this time I'm just going to separate them. So this time I'm just going to write name. I'm just going to write names underscore students. And of course, you know what that means. It's going to be, we're going to have Pablo, we're going to have Marta, and we're going to have Dorcas. Right, and then we're going to have the scores. Right, and again, just like we put them in a tuple, we're going to have 96, 98, 99. Right, so you see that works. So these are tuples. These are tuples. Now the next thing we want to do is we're going to write a for loop. So we go for name comma score, and so we're going to introduce something called a zip. We're going to talk about that later, but it's just going to grab everything together, you know, and zip it up, right? So it's just going to put names underscore students and then their scores, and we'll put that together. And then this time around we're going to print. We just say print open bracket, just like we did here. So you see, I'm just going to come here and steal this, right? I'm just going to come and steal this, and here I'm just going to put it here. Again, this time we are looping through tuples multiple times. Right. Or rather, yeah, no, we're looping through multiple tuples, right? Multiple tuples. Exactly. And so, boom, you can see that. So it just, with a zip, it unwraps everything and then lets it out. So that's basically what it is. We just, the previous video, Python loops with dictionaries. This one, Python loops and tuples. Tuples are ordered immutable sequences, but you cannot change what is inside of a tuple. That's why it's ideal to use student scores. So we know that it maintains integrity. And just basically showed you guys how you can loop through a tuple, right? So take your time, watch this. Understand the learning curve is steep, but the only way to get through is taking your time, right? Share this video with friends, family, anyone trying to learn Python programming for data science, or just Python programming, just trying to get used to it. It's going to help